One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
My friends, welcome to episode 256 of the Anxiety Guy podcast. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving a review on this podcast if in fact it's helping you on your healing journey. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Inner Circle program, 16 weeks of daily guidance from me through the Inner Circle program that you can find at theanxietyguy.com. Begin your healing journey with me. And today's podcast episode, my friends, is all about the answer to so many questions that I've been getting over the last couple of weeks. People have been asking me about childhood trauma. And what's interesting is that as more and more anxiety sufferers are looking deeper into the root causes of their anxiety and providing themselves with further self-care, they're coming up with the missing pieces of information. You wouldn't believe how many people come to me and say, "Oh my goodness, I thought I consciously forgot about that experience from the past, but it's true. I've been holding on to it." And if we peel the layers of your anxiety, what we will find is that within the environments of where you grew up and the authority figures that you were with, you were led to believe things about yourself. You were led to believe things about this reality, which are very much false and hurtful. So I want to start this podcast episode with a quote. And it's by one of my favorite authors and people in the world, Peter Levine. And Peter Levine says, trauma is perhaps the most avoided, ignored, belittled, denied, misunderstood, and untreated causes of human suffering today. I completely and wholeheartedly agree. Because the truth is that many times, the past experiences can show up in so many different ways, physiological ways, psychological ways, later on in adulthood. So let's understand how this works. How it works is, well, I like to refer to it as the somatic zip files. This is encoded information from all the happenings within those past experiences. These somatic zip files, you know the zip files that you have in your computer, and within that zip file there's a tremendous amount of information. And when somebody goes through a traumatic experience, terrorizing from a parent, neglecting, whatever it may be, that overwhelming experience where you froze gets zipped up as a zip file in a certain part of your body. Now, as these zip files begin accumulating, you can understand what starts to happen to a person psychologically and physiologically. So within you are encoded pieces of information from all the things that have occurred from the past that have had an emotionally intense experience to them. And this leads to chronic sensitivity, which you're feeling today. Chronic sensitivity, the feeling of tiptoeing from situation to situation. The conscious mind looks to not make a mistake. The subconscious mind or the child mind scans for the next threat within the environment. If it's not in the present environment, that child mind will look for it in the future. If it's not in the future, heck, they'll look in the past. And when somebody is so utterly and chronically focused on fear and looking to survive rather than thrive, you will find something to be sensitized towards, even if it's a glass of water, because those are the programs and those are the zip files that are continuing to run within your physiology that have not been resolved. Those emotions have not been discharged. So this chronic sensitivity leads to the subconscious mind looking to do three things with the information that it's presented with in the present moment. The first thing it does is it deletes information that doesn't fit with its fear-based perceptions of reality. So if something goes right or you have a win, the subconscious mind doesn't allow you to spend time on that win. Rather, it would delete that information and have you focus on the part of something that's going to come up in the future that may be a threat. So it does a great job of deleting information that doesn't fit with your fear-based reality. It distorts information in the hopes of turning something neutral into a potential threat. So, like I mentioned earlier, this filter system, based on your subconscious mind, based on the zip files that you're holding in your body from previous experiences, distorts information. It says, no, it's not like that. It's like this. So you stay sensitized, you stay fearful, and things that are not even threats become threats. And this causes you to experience the addiction to suffering, thinking that reality is supposed to be lived this way. And that's what we have in society today, the addiction to suffering. People can't even look each other in the eyes anymore without getting uncomfortable. Was that the case when we were kids? I don't think so. We were in the playground, running, jumping. Didn't matter where the kid was from, what color they were. It didn't matter. We played. We were a family. Our home was this earth. And now, as you can see, we're going in a totally opposite direction. Subconscious mind looks to generalize information in order to group things and connect things that are at a similar threat level to other things. That's why you'll hear people say, oh, this is just like that, or this nationality is just like that, or I will always, or I am. These are generalization statements based on, again, the filter system in your brain, based on the zip files you're holding in your body. And so if you find yourself deleting information, you must apply a certain amount of awareness to know that you're doing it. When you find yourself distorting information, you must be aware that you're doing that. And generalizing information, same thing. Because as we go through the day, one of the biggest components to healing is recognizing that we are, in fact, embarking on this path of going backwards towards fear again. Because it's your level of awareness. It's your level of awareness and your mindset going into the day that will dictate how the day goes. Now, this is why most of us go about our days never deleting these zip files and replacing them with new interpretations. Never understanding the message of suppressed emotion that comes with anxiety today. And only doing things to temporarily bliss out and stuff anxiety deeper into our bodies. This is a problem. So many people out there are dealing with the symptoms. Stop dealing with the symptoms. Start dealing with why the symptoms are there, the subsequent and the initial sensitizing events. Stop running from what you have to look directly at, the root cause of anxiety. And if you say, I don't know what the root cause is, you must understand that you've never been open to that information from the subconscious until now. Intention leads to gaining the answers that are needed. So now that you have the intention of being intuitively met with the root cause of your anxiety, we can begin opening up to the missing pieces of information that we need to heal and stop looking to just calm ourselves temporarily. Remember, intention is the seed that gets planted within, which eventually turns into insight. Warrior, if you want to learn more about the Inner Circle program, head on over to theanxietyguy.com. And let's make sure that you never, ever, ever give up on yourself on this journey, because you are worth it. And people in the future are going to be looking for you for guidance. I love you very much. Remember that you are more than anxiety. Please review this podcast if it's helping you, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.